Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. During my university years here in the United States of America, I had some classes, science classes, where the issue of ethics came into the conversation, which is what kind of experiments can you conduct to be ethical. And needless to say, I got in heated arguments with the professors and some of the participants and the students, fellow students. Obviously, how should I put it, more inclined to have more openness towards what you can do in the experiments versus the other guys who wanted ethics to play a very important role in experiments. My point was, and here I have two articles to demonstrate that, my point was, yes, there should be some ethical issues when you conduct experiments, but don't let the ethics tie your hands behind your back, because there will be other countries, other nations who will have a looser ethical practice, and they will advance and they will discover and they will get ahead of us by having a looser ethical, ideology, how you want to call it. And they didn't care, they were ethical. I said, well, we just, I think, screw ourselves. And the issue at hand was genetics and cloning at that time. Cloning was a big thing. And about human cloning, about animals cloning. And I said, I guarantee you that there will be countries on this planet, once they will have the know-how to clone, they will definitely clone human beings. And I said, I am convinced, still I am right now, that on this planet there are some locations where human beings have been cloned or attempted to be cloned. That's my gut feeling. Why? Do you think that a scientist would say, for ethical reasons, don't want to find out if we can clone human beings? Really? It's like a politician who's a senator says, I don't want to be a president. No, I'm just, or a state representative or something. Anyway, they will do this. And don't get me wrong, ethics are important, but too much ethics, it is really limiting your knowledge. So what do we have here? While we are very much concerned with cloning a sheep or a cow or something like this, the Chinese might be working way ahead of us in genetics, and they create super soldiers. All right, what does that mean? I will share with you two articles. Let's start with a milder one. This comes from The Hill, and it is from the 18th of July 2025. Lack of information on China super soldier experimentation, quote unquote, disturbing. Ex-intelligence official. As always, remember, they start with an X, and then they will end up with the White House saying, we should do it. You'll see, little by little. An ex-intelligence official. Why they say X? Because they have no authority. They say, well, just my opinion as an X, which shows I have the expertise. I'm an expert. People should listen to me, but don't sue me. It's just an opinion, you know what I mean? It's just what I think. But on the other hand, you should listen to me because I'm an expert. You see how it is? And then they elevate it to, my mountain slope model, which is little by little the foot in the door. An ex-intelligence official said late Thursday that China's military leaders are experimenting with creating a, quote-unquote, super soldier, calling the lack of information disturbing. And I'm quoting, other nations have explored in this area over decades, so it's not the newest thing in the world. But the most disturbing part is we don't know exactly how much effort they're putting in towards it. This guy said, a former senior intelligence officer in a defense intelligence agency said during an appearance on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas. All right, and I'm quoting, we don't know any of the accomplishments they had towards it. We do know, which is disturbing, it is that it's under the People's Liberation Army. They have been exploring this concept for a while. Can they modify human behavior, human physiology to create, if you will, a more superior individual, physically as well as mentally? He asked. What this? This X said Beijing's research is promising, but noted that little is known about gene splicing, I don't know how or personality altering efforts. Well, the remarks came as China works to shore up military installments in Africa and elsewhere. However, Chinese embassy spokesperson Liu Pengyu said he was unaware of the super soldiers' reports. Are you crazy? Why would he say? We want to get ahead of you so far that you can't catch us, and when you're gonna try to reach us, we're gonna stop you. China super soldier experiments disturbing. All right, I think it's disturbing that we stopped the research in that direction. I remember a while ago, I can't remember how long ago that was, 10 years ago maybe. I can't remember what I was reading, and it was some scientific paper or something, and they were talking about, I don't know if it's true or not. I can't even remember. I don't want to say scientific paper because I can't tell you. They were saying that the Chinese, so in China, there are laboratories in which when you have implantation of, whatever you want to call it. Oops, what's that? They can alter the egg in a certain way that the fetus will have certain kind of characteristics. That is, they will somehow work on the genetics of the future human being, while the fetus is still in its, development inside the mom's womb. And according to that paper, or I can't remember where it was, but it was not like a cuckoo, but it may sound like a cuckoo, but I think it's not cuckoo. Said that you can pick in China, in these maternities or however they're called, you can pick what kind of traits you're trying to have in your child. Supposedly those guys are so far ahead of these imbeciles concerned with building a vagina after they snip their cocks, right, and then dilating and keeping it as a vagina. That's true. And giving hormones and so on, altering that kind of behavior, very much scientific. But on the other hand, it's not like creating a better, a stronger, a more potent. No, they're very interested in dragging us down into, perversity. So when I read it, I was like, I don't know if that's possible. I mean, I think it's possible, and it's good they do it. I'm all for it, personally. Now they say they create the super soldiers. Now, I don't know exactly, because they say they don't know much about it, because this is what it says. The experiments are disturbing, and they know little about it. That's disturbing about it. Rather, lack of information is disturbing. Are they creating them as clones? Are they implanting in the already adult individuals? They create certain kind of traits. They alter, they modify through epigenetics. Read into epigenetics. I'm a firm believer. I don't have to be convinced about the reality of epigenetics. And however you want to take it, remember, I know it's politically incorrect again because of the ethics. Don't let politics alter reality, okay? They will find certain realities. That's why I think they are not giving us the truth. They will confirm certain stereotypes, and they will confirm certain political incorrect realities, and therefore they hold off, especially in the United States of America. When you have a homogeneous society, it's a little bit different. But here, if you would come and say people with, let's say, blue eyes are a bit more smarter than the guys with dark eyes, okay, then it would be very much politically incorrect, even though, let's say, scientifically that's proven. So the same with IQ, the same with some genes, and so on. I'm like the steel gene, just, you know what I mean? They will be politically incorrect. So they suppress, I think, knowledge, science, in order to not rock the boat of a project which is the American experiment, which is diversity is our strength. You know what I mean? And why should you do that? But on the other hand is the ethics. What are we going to do? Are we for the truth? Well, sometimes you can't handle the truth. Well, at least are these guys, as I said, with epigenetics? Remember when we were told, oh, he's good at sports. What were his parents? Remember? I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you were already regimented in America not to think that way. But where I come from, if someone was good at sports, oh yeah, because his parents were good sports. Yeah, that's why. Like you would say right now, you look at our politicians, and the politicians have sons and daughters who are also successful politicians. Let's say Miss McCain. Oh, McCain was her? Was it McCain? What's the other guy's name? Yeah, McCain or Bushes, the W's, the Kennedys, runs in the genes, right? Well, if you read Plato, the book, how should I put it mildly? It's not the allegory of the cave, because it's not only there, but there are some works where Plato states clearly, and I can bring that to you, and I did it in another video, where he talks about breeding chicken or horses, and how you breed them. You take the best ones, there are some best ones, and you breed them with the best ones. Dogs, the breeds of dogs are also created like that. Only humans cannot be created, you know what I mean? So you already know it's a cover-up. I mean, the dogs, all these dogs are created, they're given traits. Do you think that a German Shepherd was just a dog who just guys grabbed it, got the wolf and say, now you're going to be domestic? No. And the other dogs, how do you think the Rottweiler was created? How do you think a Doberman attack dogs? Or Pitbull, do you think they just were in the wild? They were put together. They were given traits. Remember, some say, oh, the Dalmatians are stupid, but are very... The same here. There are certain traits of dogs that are created in the labs. Do you think that doesn't work for human beings? You are told no, for the political correctness. I think works just fine. But for ethical reasons, we don't do that. The Chinese are going to do it, and the Chinese are going to create a different society. I would say more able. Am I for it? It's a tricky situation. What are you going to do? If those guys are going to develop a stronger weapon than you have, what are you going to do? They're going to take over you, since they're bad by default, right? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth. Papa. What's up, meow meow? Did you come to see me? What's wrong? You don't feel well today or something? Oh, you feel well, huh? Go. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.